Now we're in March, I'm going to give you a few simple hints and tips to ensure you've got a great looking lawn in time for summer. The first thing I suggest you do is get out in the garden as quickly as you possibly can. Take your lawn rake with you, rake up as much of the dead twigs and the leaves as you possibly can, which will let air back in, which will let a bit of light back in, so your lawn can actually start to recover after that long winter period. Aeration is probably the most critical thing you'll ever do to your lawn. It's a process of adding oxygen into your soil profile. The benefits are quite simple. The first thing I would probably say is decompacting the ground, allowing the ground to breathe by removing lots and lots of plugs from your lawn. The second thing would be improving the drainage, which is fairly obvious of course, but allowing the water to move through your soil profile to dry out the surface. And last but not least, a very important one, it will actually make the use of your fertilisers even better. If you've got a very small lawn or even a small area that you want to aerate, you can use a hollow tine fork, but for ease of use on a larger lawn, you might want to consider hiring a powered machine. Another great thing to do in March is to scarify your lawn. Scarification is the removal of dead organic matter and moss that's built up, so that once you've removed it, your grass can actually start to breathe and new grass can start to flourish. Like all things lawn care, little and often is far better. Doing it on a yearly basis means that your recovery will be far quicker and you'll end up with a far nicer lawn. Now we're in March, this could be a great time to attack moss and weeds if you've got them in your lawn. There are several ways of removing weeds from your lawn. The first and simple way is to manually go around and dig them out with a small garden fork or garden trowel. The second way is to simply go around and spot treat using a lawn weed killer. If moss and weeds are a problem on your lawn, then why not actually use a simple triple action 3-in-1 feed, weed and moss killer, making it a very simple single operation. And don't be worried about the moss going black, that's what it's meant to do. I often get asked why lawns have gone a bit yellow, and essentially this could be down to a simple thing like cutting your lawn with a blunt blade. Essentially what it will do is tear the grass blade as opposed to cut it. Now that you're looking at putting your first cut on the lawn, essentially it's a good idea to don't get too keen and keep the height of cut nice and high. Essentially, a good rule of thumb to remember is to only ever take off a third of the leaf blade when you're mowing your lawn. So there you are, there's some hints and tips for March which hopefully inspires you to get out in your garden, and I look forward to seeing you again in April.